Hello everyone, it is Liam, the Deaf Doom Metalhead, and today is a video, probably the last video of the year, which is like a big collection update of everything you might have missed off your year-end list going into 2024. So this is hopefully a video that will help you, inspire your last-minute Christmas presents, or check out albums you've not even heard of this year. That you know, when you're doing your year-end list, if you're like me, you're kind of compiling albums and you get to discover some new music, you'll probably hopefully get something out of this video. So this is a big stack across multiple labels, a few different styles. You've got some doom, death, pinch of black metal in there. But first I will talk about a zine. Now if you're like me and you like your underground music, you obviously follow underground zines where people will put in their passion for their, you know, die-hard love of music, and they'll put in interviews, reviews, you know, just of bands you've probably never even heard of, and this is one of them. So this all comes from, to start with, from Morbid Records over in Poland. Valdemar is also branching out into the zine territory, and he's doing this zine called Burning Halls of Damnation. This is issue 1, yeah, from last year. So as you can know, old school stuff, very underground, A4 paper, fully printed zine with borders, the whole fucking works. I love shit like this. I like to have a good read of stuff. I like my books, you know, I like to sit in the corner, especially when it's stuff to do with underground metal, extreme music. You know, I can read stuff like that for days, and this is one of these that I had a real fun time actually genuinely reading this, because it's really in depth. I mean, he's put his heart and soul into all of this. You know, you've got full on interviews, full printed artwork, and the interviews are very deep as well. They're very, very specific, like they'll go into certain subjects, talk about it at length. It's not just one of those brushed off interviews that go, how are you, what are you doing, what's your favourite album, all that kind of bollocks. It's like proper talking about the style of music, especially with, like, if you took like black metal for example, and he's really asking the artists some proper questions about their music, and it's fucking awesome. So if you haven't checked it out, I will leave links below. But really cool thing to see coming out from another really respected label, should we say, in the underground. Morbid Records has been around a little while now, and you'll see here's a stack of albums I'm going to show you from those lads. But if you haven't checked out his new zine, please do. It's what's it called? Burning Halls of Damnation. And well worth checking out. So yeah, loads of quality bands on there. Congenital Formity, Vacuous, and then there's ones that I've never even heard of before, so that was really cool to discover new music, which is why I like reading them, because, you know, I'm not a know-it-all. I'm always discovering new music, so you can too. So yeah, that was really cool, so thank you Valdemar for that. But also, he sent me a nice little naughty stack of his current releases, so if you haven't done your Christmas shopping yet, hence the Christmas jumper, now is the time. So the first one is a Finnish death metal band, and if you like Finnish death metal like I do, you're already going to love this. This is really, really good. So this is Guts with their album Decay. This came out mid-2023, and it was done for a few labels. So I think Morbid Chapel done the CD one. There is maybe a vinyl version or a tape version from Hungwan Records by memory, but I could be dead wrong. So this was well, how can I put it? So it's more like a more raw approach to Finnish death metal. It's got a lot of groove to it. It's very basic, it's very bare, but it's all on the riff. It's all centered on groove, riff. It's just fucking heavy, and it reminds me a lot of when Entomb did Wolverine Blues. It's got kind of like that kind of vibe to it. It's very caveman-esque in its approach. It's very raw, like I said. It's not polished like US style or more of a modern take. It's just more bare bones, proper riffing, really aggressive, very groovy, and it's fucking amazing. So if you've not checked out Decay, now ignore the cases. When Valdemar sends me the CDs, I put my own cases in, and some of these cases are fucking decades old, so hence the white tray. But it's a fucking awesome album. So if you haven't checked that one out, strongly recommend it, as all of these. Now this is a US death metal or death doom band. This is their EP from this year. This is Bone Weapon with Thrive or Starve. And these boys are from Pennsylvania. This is their debut for this year. This was also put out through another US label on tape. I want to say Transylvanian Tapes, that guy over there. He got hold of these guys. And this is fucking superb. Just 3 tracks, but just really raw, doomy death metal in the US style. Really, really heavy. Really crushing, really slow and brutal. I mean, I told you about these cases being really shit. That one's already broken. But they are a 3-piece there. And like I said, if you like your EPs with your doomy death, look no further than that. That's fucking an awesome little release. Really heavy, crushing, and yeah, I fucking love it. So yeah, Bone Weapon, right off my street that is. And also Morbid Chapel is also known for its black metal, and Wildemar likes to pick on bands that you know, you would never even heard of in a million years. And I actually do know this band. I've got a few of their releases, and it is more in the vein of the proper atmospheric, lo-fi, very raw black metal. And that is Forbidden 2. They sent me 2 of their releases. So this is from 2022, the tail end of it, which is called Flame of something or other. And now this band is an Indonesian band. Couldn't tell you the chap's name. You know what black metal bands are like, especially one-man projects. They're all mystique and evil, and you don't know what they're talking about or who they are, and there's a shroud of mystery to them. And yeah, this is no different. I mean, even the cover gives nothing away. I don't even know what the fuck that is on there. But this was solid. I mean, his releases are all very, very similar, but this is the one from 2023, which actually has a cover. And I love the artwork on that. So this one is called whatever is down there. And this is superb. I actually really enjoyed this one. I mean, his releases are a little bit of a struggle for me because they're so, I mean, they're really raw. But they have, when you spend time with them, you start to pick out the riffs, you start to understand the atmosphere, where it's coming from. And like I say, Indonesia is massive on death metal, black metal, extreme metal in general. I mean, I read somewhere there's like 2,000 different death metal bands alone in the country, which is insane. I mean, it's a massive hotbed for the scene. I'd love to go and experience it firsthand, you know, to see the passion of it. And this is brilliant. It is really, really riffy, eerily horrible, very lo-fi though, so if you're not a fan of that kind of crap sounding production, you're not going to like this. But it has a charm to it, and if you spend time with it, you'll get it. And I know most passionate, true cult black metal people will already understand what I'm talking about and already love it and hate me for liking it maybe because I'm not true cult, but fuck, I don't give a shit. So yeah, go check that out. That was a really cool little release. So yeah, more with that. And lastly, from the Morbid Chapel camp is another black metal band. This is a US one. This is Ancient North with Alter Philosophia. This is a one-man project, you'll be shocked to hear, by a chap called Barrick Daniels. And this is his third full length from 2022. So again, very raw, very angry sounding black metal. This is extremely blasty, very heavy on the tremolo picking riffs, very aggressive, very eerie and horrible, and everything that kind of evokes this kind of image you're kind of getting with Ancient North. This does have an actual real drummer on it as well, which is nice to see. Who's this chap here? Because a lot of these programmed drums, and you know, after a while it just gets monotonous and you can't really stand it. But this one's a little bit different. It is very samey on the songs, I won't deny that. But if you spend time with it, I mean, I do enjoy it, don't get me wrong. I enjoy this a lot. But you have to be in the mood for this kind of black metal for me. And yeah, no different. 10 tracks, just solid, no nonsense, angry, ancient evil sounding black metal, should we say. So yeah, Ancient North. So thank you Wildemar for that. Go check out all his shit, I'll leave links below. But yeah, what a fantastic dude he is. Now, this is we've got some cassettes in here as well. And this is a 2023 release that I saw, I think Mark showed this a while ago, which piqued my interests just because of the name alone, and that is the band Rotpit with their album Let There Be Rot. This is a debut for this year. And they're a Sweden/German band. This features a chap called Johnny Peterson, who is the vocalist on here, but he's also, I think, the vocalist in Woundbath and a guitarist in something else. I think he plays guitars on this as well for the band Berserker Legion, who've put an album out this year, which is like that kind of old international band of all sorts of crazy people like Asphyx, Dark Funeral, the lot. And this also features 2 people from Revel in Flesh out of Germany, so if you know that band, you kind of know what you're going to get. So this is very heavy, riffy, aggressive, but it also sounds a lot like that kind of Swedish style modern death metal, as it were. So it's got that vibe to it. So this is very, very fun. It's very chunky, very heavy. I think Johnny, by rights, the guy doing the vocals, also played guitar on the last Massacre album. So you get the idea where it's got that kind of modern approach to it, but it's very heavy. The cassette looks like that. And yeah, I was on with Mark on this. It was after I heard it, it was like, I need some of that in my life. So really happy with that. There's a picture of the chaps there. So yeah, I think the vocalist in Rebel in Flesh is also in this band as a musician, but I could be wrong. I can never remember which way round it is. I think he does maybe backing vocals, but you get the idea there. It's a fucking awesome little album, and it's very, very heavy. So I'll put that away. I am looking at my notes if you wonder why I keep looking over there, because there's a lot to get through. But yeah, add that to your shopping list if you haven't, because that is fucking brutal. Love that. Now, Cavernous Records put out loads of albums this year, even shit from me that come out this year. They re-released Consecration's debut full length. So thank you, Chris. But he also sent me this to check out, and this is something I would never normally listen to. I like it, but it's not something I would normally go for, and it's some death thrash. So this is Savage Ruins with the album World in Wrath. There you go. I'm trying to say that. Debut for this year. One-man band. Does everything on here. Drums, vocals, guitars, bass, the whole shebang. And it's very much in your vein of your Slayer, but more on the death metal side of Slayer, if you want to say it like that. So it's very heavy. He's got the Tom Araya shrieks in there, he does randomly. But I think it's more of a homage to the German thrash scene, maybe. It reminded me a lot of that as well. This is a US band based out of Indiana. And yeah, this is really catchy. Really fun. Again, if you like your thrash, you already like this. It's got a death metal tinge to it though, it's got that chunky heaviness to it, but there's a lot more thrash going on, so don't be scared if you're not really a death metal connoisseur, because there's more thrash than the death metal side, for me anyway. It is fun, it is good to listen to, it's fast, it's aggressive, it's got some wicked solos in there, it does everything you want really. Remind me a lot of the German thrash thing, which I prefer the most. It's got that kind of, you know, what band should we say, like Destroyer kind of vibe to it. Sodom-esque nods there as well, but like I say, it's more the screams and the way he writes the riffs and the kind of song structures. It reminds me a lot of that. So yeah, well worth checking out. So yeah, Savage Ruins, really cool release from Cavernous Records. Now, got a few from Gurgling Gore out of the US to add to your shopping list if you haven't already. This is a debut EP for this year from a chap called Scott, another one-man band. And this is from Portland, Maine, by memory. And this is Worm Altar with Astral Scourge. So like this is put out through Gurgling Gore Records. Debut EP for this year on a blank shell that side, and you've got all the text that side there. And this is some doomy death metal. Very heavy, very chunky. In your vein of your most modern US death doom bands, where it's more slowed down death metal. Very angry, very aggressive. It's an EP, so you're not getting too much music in there, you're just getting a nice kind of picture of where he is at the moment with his music. It's about 25 minutes long, maybe a bit longer than that. And it's fucking awesome. Really, really heavy, really doomy. You know, what more can you say? If you like your US death doom, you know, it's another one to add to the list. There's so many bands. And they do all sound similar, I won't deny that. You can't really pick them apart. You get, what, 5 tracks on here? Yeah. So yeah, really cool. So yeah, Scott, nice one on that one. That's fucking awesome. Like that. And I actually met this chap on the weekend when I was gigging in London. So this is a Spanish death doom band. Debut album for this year from this project of his. This is Sanctuarium with Into the Mephitic Abyss. That's so hard to pronounce, these bands. So this was another one from Gurgling Gore. I think another label done the vinyl and CD of this, so this is the tape version. So this is all done by a chap called Mark Rodriguez, who's behind the projects like Troll Cave, Arab Altar. He was in Jade until the weekend when I last saw him playing drums for them when we supported them. He's a busy boy, he's also in a black metal band, he does all sorts of fucking really cool music. Shell looks like that. So this is Death Doom again. And you can say, well, why is he doing that for if he's already in bands like Troll Cave, which is a Death Doom band? But this is different. This is more death metal than doom. You know, there he is here. It's also got the vocalist here, who I think is also in Troll Cave. I think I wrote that down. Yeah, it is him as well. Artwork you get on the J card is just that. And then little notes here. But this is more of like raw death metal. I mean, it sounds like it's just been recorded live, which I really like. It's got that rawness to it. It kind of looks like, it sounds like it's almost going to fall off at one point, where it might all fall out of time, but it doesn't. It's got that kind of edginess to it where it sounds like it was recorded in the 90s, which is really, really cool. And it's really heavy, really chuggy, really raw, aggressive. You know, it's not that polished kind of Death Doom, or it's not like a US sounding rip-off, you know, anything like that. It's just raw, natural sounding death metal with a kind of doomy tinge to it. And yeah, I fucking love it, you know, and that chap can do no wrong when it comes to music at the moment. And witnessing him live do his drums, he's a fucking phenomenal musician, a top bloke as well. So yeah, go check out Sanctuarium if you haven't, because they're fucking awesome as well. Now, some US death metal, which is more on the modern take of it, and to be fair, these boys are the equivalent of what I would class as Nile. Olkoth with At the Eye of Chaos, put out a few Everlasting Spew, which is an Italian label. Tito does a wonderful job with his friends over there. Now this, I was going to show you the CD, but it looks exactly the same as that. So this is more modern death metal in its take of the US style, where it's technical, it's very fast, very aggressive. Like I said, it reminds me a lot of like Hate Eternal, Nile, those kind of elements where the riffs are played with guitars, where the guitars are cemented up high so they can do all the fucking notes. And I even think the guy in this is now playing live for Nile, which makes total sense when you hear this, because yeah, it just melts your brain how technical this is. But it's in a good way. It's not over the top with like fretless wankery and all that kind of shit. It's more just really well written death metal songs with the riffs like to make you scratch your head thinking, how the fuck did you come up with that? And it's all precise and very machine gun like with the riffing, you know, it's fucking heavy, really, really heavy. This band formed in 2016, and this is their debut for this year. And like I said, the guitarist, the vocalist Zach, now plays for Nile, so you know what you're getting. And if you watch like the kind of guitar playthroughs of this band, you know what you're going to get. It's very precise, very chuggy, very heavy. So if you like your modern death metal, go and give these boys a spin. And I think that is Paolo Griardi artwork by memory. I could be wrong, but he normally has a signature style, and that looks an awful lot like his style, and I fucking love his work. So yeah, I won't read you the notes because we'll be here all night trying to squint to read it. So yeah, Olkoth, really cool. Now, that chap out of Scotland, Ken, put out some wicked releases this year on his label Macho Records, and these two here are very, very different. One, I scratched my head when I first heard it because I wasn't expecting it, and then the other one just absolutely floored me. Now this one is one that scratched my head at it because I wasn't expecting it to be so short. Now I took this out in the car when I first got it, and I had it for the day. I was going to work, I had about half an hour drive, something like that. I thought one album do. I must have listened to this about 100 times because each song is less than 2 minutes long, and I think there's 7 tracks, yeah. So I got through this album a lot. This is the debut from Blistering Rot. I think this is actually an EP, not an album. But like I said, each track is only 2 minutes long at best. And by the end of the drive, I wouldn't say sick of it, but I was just craving something else, because the amount of playthroughs I got through it already in just one drive alone was more than I normally do for any album when I do these videos. You know, I normally listen to these over the years and not like a day or a drive. So anyway, Blistering Rot is a Scottish-based band based out of Edinburgh, and this is their debut EP for this year. This is kind of punk-tinged death metal, should we say. It's very punky, and it's very different from what Ken's put out on his label prior to the, you know, other releases. Like you've got Brain Bath, his own band, you've got Penny Coffin, which put out absolute stonker of an EP this year. This one is very different and not normally my go-to, because this is, like I say, very punky, and I'm not a massive fan of like Misfits, Agnostic Front, that kind of stuff, and it has those elements to it. But again, like I said, I listened to this a lot, and it did grow on me a lot, because I can tell you most of the riffs off this now because I know it so well, and it is catchy. But like I say, it's a very quick listen, so you know, don't go into this thinking, oh, I'll spend a nice afternoon with this, because you could easily, you know, sit through this just before this video even finished, and you'd already know what you're getting. It's good fun though, and I'd like to see this probably live more than on a CD, because you probably get more of the energy and what the riffs are all about, because it's like a zombie themed, has that, you know, Dawn of the Dead kind of vibe to it, and that's what it's all about. So when you look up these boys on YouTube as well, they don't exist. There's another band called Blistering Rot that's doing the death metal this year as well, so be warned if you are searching for this. I will leave a link below to the correct band. But yeah, another stonker from Macho Records. The guy's doing really well there. So yeah, another Scottish band to check out. There's actually another Scottish band in this video, so stay tuned for that. So yeah, Blistering Rot. And now this one was fucking phenomenal. And I genuinely was surprised, not in a horrible way, but just amazed at how good this EP is, because you can only go by what you see online and what you go by what the previous music sounds like. And then when the band puts out something that's, I say totally different, because it is totally different to what they've done before, it absolutely just makes your face just kind of melt off, thinking, how the fuck have they done that? And this is exactly that. So this is the latest from Malediction. After 30 odd years, it's the first EP since, well, I'm 34, so yeah, a long fucking time, and I'm old in my head. This is the Soil Throne, put out through Macho Records as well, but also I think Cosmic Key have done the vinyl, which I wish I had, but I'm happy with the tape, you know. And then, where do I start with this? Now, one thing I'm really proud of actually is my name is in this, as well as Consecration. So Rich I have to thank for that, I imagine. He runs all the stuff for the PR stuff anyway. Well, I'm really proud of that, because one, it helps that the EP is fucking brilliant and my name was on there, so I can take pride in that. But just the mere thought of my name being on anything is amazing, so thank you, Rich. But I'm not going to blow too much smoke up his ass, but I will say on this EP, the music on here is mind-melting how good it is. This proper, aggressive, old-school death metal. So like, when they use the line, you can't teach an old dog new tricks, yeah, it just kind of throws that all out of the water. Rich on here, all the boys in fact, have completely shifted in talent and skill level and everything like this. You can tell they've spent 30 years and they've become masters of their own trade almost. I love that artwork as well. They do a t-shirt of that, which looks amazing. But that track alone, Black Narcissus, the first track of this EP, has got one of the most mind-melting solos I've ever heard from someone. When you look at them on Facebook, you have no idea they're going to do that. And you know, I'm going to start calling him, you know, Rich James Murphy Mumford now, because yeah, it's just brilliant. And all the leads on here are fantastic. The riffs, I mean, they've got an amazing drummer on here who just blasts the shit out of it. I did write it down actually. It's a former Gore Rotted drummer, John Rushforth, and Rick Simpson's on bass on this as well, so he's not an original member either. But the two guitarists and the vocalist, all originals, and they've completely shifted in style. Vocals are really aggressive, they bark in, they're horrible and they're nasty, and they fit the music perfectly. And I must admit, I won't be surprised if you see this at another video soon, because it's just fucking incredible. I can't blow too much more smoke up these boys, but I'm really happy. I'm going to be seeing these guys in January when I play with them up in Scotland when they do their thing. It's their debut show in like 30 odd years, I think. So yeah, it's just fucking incredible. So well done, boys. That really, really impressed me. Annoying as well that people can be that good. So yeah, mind-numbing. So this is a Scottish band that sent me this album. I think it's to do with a PR thing that I'm involved in, but completely new to me. This band is based out of Glasgow, formed in 2016, and this is their debut full length for this year, and that is Gendo Ikari, which I believe is based off a anime like Gundam Wing kind of thing, I think, by memory. I do like my anime, but I haven't watched any for a few years now. So this is like death grind, and it's fucking bonkers, like bonkers. This is all over the place in style, aggression, technicality. The drums on it are mental, like the blasts are insane, riffs are all over the shop, vocals are screams, they're barks, they're shrieks, everything, you know. Absolute insanity. It's one of those bands that it reminded me of, you remember Dillinger Escape Plan? If anyone remembers them, they were very over the top, and when you watch them live, they'd be fucking slamming shit and rolling around all over the floor, playing this overcomplicated music that you just couldn't wrap your head around. Just kind of thought, oh, is that jazz? You know, it's obviously not, but it had all that kind of vibe to it. And this is very much similar. I've never heard of these guys before, and the Scottish scene at the moment is absolutely insane. I'm very jealous of it, being here in England, because they just have such a passion up there. And this is another band, just mental, absolutely mental, but not in a bad way. Just it's took me a few listens to get my head around this, because it is insane. Because some of it is death metal and I digest it really quickly, and then some of it's just like, what the fuck are you, where did you come up with that idea? So yeah, go give that a go if you like to challenge yourself, or like I said, if you like Dillinger Escape Plan, that kind of thing, it is in that kind of ballpark. So yeah, Gendo Ikari, nice little surprise that was. Now this is a very fancy looking CD, and a band, I think this is maybe the second or first one I have, I think it may be the second band from India that I have in my collection. Now this band are completely new to me, and they've put out an album that is brutally heavy, and if you like your blast beats, you'll love this album. So this is a band called Tetragrammacide, and this is their second full length for this year, formed in 2012. I'll put the title of the album down there because it's ridiculously long. But this is like a special CD book digipack edition, but it's like a hardback book style, which is really nice. Put out through Iron Bonehead Records, so if you know that label like I do, he's always putting out really cool, bizarre like bands that you've never heard of, and they're all fantastic. And the book is really nice actually. It's like a digi-book thing with like lots of glossy pages with lots of really cool artwork, lyrics. I think they're lyrics anyway, and lots of random shit in there. And then the CD's at the back there and that little slip bit. I think there's some really, like full colour artwork in there as well. Now, this musically, the best way I can describe it is if you like Hate Eternal and you like the sheer energy and aggression of that band, essentially it's the same thing. It's just really crushingly heavy production. The guitars sound amazing. Drums are fucking club you to death on this. I mean, the guy on here is an absolute monster, and it is pure. Every single song is just a sheer blast fest of just full on double kicks, fucking blasts for days, and then you got the little riffs in between all that, and it's just a real chasmic, aggressive, chunky death metal album, and it's just fantastic. Really heavy. No one sounds like this at the moment, for this year at least. You know, with album wise that I've heard, this one blew me away at how heavy it is. It's just like if you have this on loud as well, with your speakers and the bass cranked up, you'll fucking feel it, trust me. Fantastic band, really cool album. Go check them out. So yeah, Tetragrammacide, new on me, but you'll love them. Two more and I'll leave you alone. This is the last one of the year for collection updates, so I thought I'd get it all in now before I fuck off. So this one is an Italian band, and I only checked this out basically because of the name, because I remember them from the previous releases, and also the artwork lured me in. I haven't got the record to show, this is a cassette version. So this is Tennebro with Ultima Grida dalla Guiogla, something like that. This is an Italian death metal band, and as you probably gathered with the artwork, it's all themed on Italian horror films. This is put out for Extreme Music, which I believe is a Spanish label, who always put out really sick horror theme like death metal bands. Shell is a split between black and white, which is really nice. So this is a full length album from this year. I think it's the second one by memory. And you get in there, when you look at the J card, you get what they're about, what films they're inspired by. And then you got your artwork like that. It's fucked up, isn't it? But this is actually really catchy. So this reminds me a lot of the rawness of death metal, where you've got that kind of, not comparing them, but like, you know, with 6 Feet Under, where they kept it simple and the riffs were straightforward, but they were heavy, they were chunky, they were groovy. Tennebro is very much the same sort of thing. This band formed in 2000, so they've been around a long while, and I think there's only 2 or 3 of them, I think maybe 2 in the band, and it's just fucking amazing how catchy this is. Very chunky, very riffy, very groovy. You got lots of sound bites in from films in there, which you would expect with the Italian horror theme death metal. You know, they always do that. And yeah, really surprised how much I like this, because I just kind of bought it on a whim, where the artwork was the reason. I checked it out, and then the more I liked it, the more I sat with it, and it sunk in more. And yeah, unfortunately I bought it too late, so I don't think it would ever get on my end of year list now, but I don't know, I've gone to this a lot because it's very easy to get into. So yeah, Tennebro, really cool album. And lastly, you'll be happy to know, is an album that was sent to me randomly from I don't know who. There was no name, no note, it was just posted to me, and I had that one of those moments where I went, oh shit, I don't recall buying this, and I definitely didn't. So whoever sent it to me, thank you. And this is a Spanish Death Doom band, but I think it came from a label based other side of the world as South America. I think. I'm fairly sure it did. So this came from Tragedy Productions, which is over in, I want to say somewhere that I can't remember. South America somewhere. I will leave notes to everything below. But this is a Spanish Death Doom band called Solnegre with it's not their debut, is it? Oh, it is their debut, sorry, from this year. The Spiral Labyrinth. Muse Music also put it out as a split release there on this like digipack. Now I knew nothing about this going into this. Like, this was a complete blind listen when I put this on, because I didn't know who sent it to me or nothing. I wasn't prepared for it. I know the labels well because there's a lot of bands on there that I have listened to, like Winds of Tragedy or that kind of thing. But this one was new on me. But Spanish Death Doom, I fucking love Spanish Death Doom. There's so many cool Spanish Death Doom bands, and it made sense when I was listening to this when I read some of the former members. So this has got former members of Golgotha and Hellthorn. Now I've played a festival with Hellthorn many years ago, and they're amazing. They're really upbeat, kind of doomy death metal, but more in Insomnium, if you know that band. And then Golgotha have been around since the 90s, and they're kind of that early 90s kind of death doom sound. They kind of progressed and got a bit more symphonic and that kind of thing, which isn't really my thing. But this is more dirgy, thick, super heavy doomy death metal. It's about an hour long, and it's fucking brilliant. Like, this has really made my day when I put this on, how good this was. It's a proper doom death album where the songs are structured, you've got gorgeous melodies, magnificent solos, big chunky production, so you've got that ultra guttural sound coming through really well. The drums sound massive and the guitars are really layered, thick and heavy, and it's just brilliant. A really, really solid album, and I knew nothing about them, and now you do, which is cool. So if you watch this video, you can check the link below, check out that name, and you'll be happy to know how heavy this album is, because it's fucking marvellous. So yeah, that brings me to the end of my video. This is a 2023 Christmas shopping list, so hopefully you'll use the links below. You'll go check out some bands and then, you know, discover some new music, buy their albums, that kind of thing. I will be back probably with my end of year list as my last video. I do have a video that Metal Mickey came up with for, like, you do your favourite albums in order, which I have done. I've got to record that, but I've got the list sitting there. I've had it for weeks now, actually. So I might try and squeeze that in before the end of the year if I get bored. But it will come up at some point. So yeah, in the meantime, please like the video if you thought it was alright. Let YouTube know I'm okay. And if you are new to the channel, I'll leave content all around my fat head for you guys to enjoy. In the meantime, take care, and if I don't speak to you before Christmas, have a fucking good one. See you later.